this week, the County Council held public hearings on the newly proposed councilmanic map that adds an additional 2 council districts to the County Council. Now, recalling that the driving force between the charter amendment that was adopted, between the 2 competing charter amendments that were adopted, was to add the additional seats, was the dissatisfaction by up-county voters who felt that they had a lack of representation. So it wasn't surprising when you see the newly drawn up map that it was widely criticized by the public. Cary, why was there criticism and by whom?
It's real simple. You're dividing up communities. You're dividing their political engagement. You're dividing their economic engagement. You're dividing their civic engagement. Whether you're in Kent Mill, North Bethesda, Leisure World in the Aspen Hill area, or Travilla and North Potomac, when you have communities that have to work together to, have a reasonable economic climate, a civic engagement where they want to work together, and you cut them in half, right? And now they've got to deal with 2 different council members. It's just complicated. Of course, I agree with Marilyn Balcom. I have to say this. We went through this because of the lack of investment in the up county and in the East County, right? We were trying to get 9 districts. She was the one that was opposed to it. This is what's ironic here. Now, instead of 1 in 5, she's got 1 in 7 council members. It's just crazy.
Phil, I'm going to go to Nancy because she knows the players here. Nancy, I was rather surprised when I read all of the headlines in the newspapers about how wonderful it was that the eastern part of the county was getting its own council, quote unquote, own council seat. And I recall that Nancy Navarro was representing that district. I recall that Marilyn Praisner and her husband after her represented that district. The idea that the eastern part of the county wasn't represented, I frankly think is insulting to those members. So what's going on here?
Well, someone made the case and the voters bought it. I think the whole issue of adding new council members was a waste of money and it's not going to help anything. Look, Maryland and Ike are the ones who opposed most of the development on the east part of the county. They were never business friendly anyways. There's a lot of history here that's affected the East County. I think they had Valerie, they had Tom. They've had Nancy, they've had plenty of representation. They just don't like the result. And frankly, the East County has never been easy to begin with because of the way it was developed. But it's not just about that. I mean, the issue with redistricting, their initiative priority appears to have been to protect Gaithersburg and Rockville and keep them together. And that has driven a lot of the other decisions. I don't know about the inside story about why they picked certain arrangements. I've been redistricted now into the one sort of like Roger Berlin's district, the one that no, I'm still in Andrew Friedson's district.
Andrew Friedson, you're in Andrew.
But the legislative district for me will now be David Trone, I believe. And the games are played. It is political. I am not sure why they made certain choices. I'm curious as to what they do with that wacky district that goes from Tacoma Park to North Bethesda. That was designed to suit somebody, and I'm not sure who. Gabe.
Well,
I don't know.
I want to wrap up with Phil. Phil, there was a lot of discussion in the support. If you look at the supporting materials that the redistricting commission sent forward, was on how the racial component and makeup of each district was now aligned. Should that be their focus, or should the focus be on keeping neighborhoods together?
Keeping neighborhoods together. There should be zero focus on racial makeup because, I can't say it enough. The more and more that you promote this idea of racial equity, or, you have blacks over here or Hispanics over there, or something like that, the more and more that you end up creating something that I talked about earlier, which is these permanent divisions that are really unhelpful in general for what we're trying to do, whether you're talking about at the county level, state, or national. And when I say what we're trying to do, I mean live in the same area. what does it benefit you to say, well, either you're going to have a majority minority district, or you're going to do this, or because of the special interest? There is no special interest based on racial makeup or background. We all have the same goals, which is to have more money tomorrow than we do today and more opportunity tomorrow than we do today.
I'll go quickly, Nancy. Do you think there'll be any changes to the map, or is it locked in place already?
I would guess it's pretty locked. I'm not sure what the testimony has been, but it's hard to redraw those lines. Once you get going, it's hard to stop. So
yeah, I think
I'd be surprised.
The freight train has left the
Pretty much,
station
yeah.
on this one, only because of timing. They have to get ready for the upcoming election. I think it's going to be a failure, and I think we're going to see another movement for 11 districts as opposed
Why not?
to why not?